So, great, thank
I
you.
started to record, and so I'm really excited. I'm Becky Suzik with Joy Fuel, and I'm here in the Sacred Circle and Sacred Space and Talking Circles room to introduce Dr. Merrill, who is the founder of Novasutras. And we're really grateful that Michelle is joining us this evening to offer this beautiful invitation to understand and explore what Novasutras is, and a meditation for metta and loving kindness is my understanding. So this part is new to me. So I'm really grateful that you're here, Michelle, joining us and offering this experience.
Oh, thank you, Becky. I'm so happy to be here and be with you. And I wanted to just give a moment to check in with the folks who are here. And if you just want to say your name, where you're from, and one being in the more than human world that you encounter fairly regularly that you're grateful for, a species, or if it's a particular individual critter, just to make that connection beyond the human world. So I'll model it for us. My name's Michelle. I'm near Santa Cruz, California, and I get to see Steller's jays all the time, which are lovely little birds, beautiful blue.
I'm Valerie, and I am in St. Louis, Missouri, USA, and I have been expanding my gardens since we're close to home, and enjoying all of the robins coming and visiting me.
I love this invitation. I'm Becky, and when you said, did you say non-human energy? I instantly thought of the energy that keeps coming to me ever since Corona really made that presence known on Earth, and that is the presence of Gaia, of how we're one Earth. I see over your shoulder our one Earth, and how that is a spirit to me in itself that we are all part of. So that's become something that I'm aware of much more on a daily basis.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
The birds are part of that too.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, it's like you already know what I'm going to talk about here. So I'm going to share my screen now. And the theme of the meditation I'll take us through is nature connection and loving kindness. And in the Novasutras movement, we use these two words to try and sum up how important we think that is to really the way the whole universe is put together. And those two words are Gaia and Ubuntu. So let me tell you a little bit about each one of those, and then we'll use those ideas and explore them more fully during the meditation. But before we go into that, you mentioned Gaia, this presence of the living planet. And that is part of the root of this word Gaia that we use. Recognizing that science has shown all life on Earth seems to be engaged in processes that lead to ever more complex and beautiful and healthy life. Everywhere, life is trying to create conditions for more and better and more beautiful life. This seems to be a fundamental rule of how biology works, and one might extrapolate how the whole universe works. So in recognizing all that science is showing us about this property of nature that creates so much beauty and complexity, we also recognize that we have this felt sense that there is a deep, transcendent, universal love. A word for that is agape. And so to try to capture all of the wonder and reverence and joy around these properties of nature, we sum this up with this term agaya so that we can try to encapsulate what is a very expansive and complex idea in a way that we can talk about it. So we sort of invented that word. This other word that we use a lot, Ubuntu, this actually comes from several of the languages of Southern Africa. And it's usually used in recognition of the way that humans are only really themselves in relationship to their whole community. That no one is a person in isolation. They actually will sometimes translate it as I am because we are. And once again, when you look out in the more than human world, you see this principle of Ubuntu in action everywhere. It's not just us. Humans are maybe specialists in Ubuntu. Hi, Dana. But really we see this interdependence and interconnection everywhere we look. When you look at a flowering plant, the reason they produce beautiful flowers and delicious fruits is so that they can lure in animal cooperators. Hummingbirds get to drink sweet nectar. We get to eat a strawberry because we're helping these plants reproduce. And how beautiful is that continuous reciprocal relationship? And it goes even deeper than that. When you look at a tree in a forest, it's only there because of the action of fungi and bacteria in the soil that make it possible for it to get the nutrients it needs. As humans, we're only here because of the microflora, the bacteria and fungi in our digestive system helping us process the food we eat. And all animals are only here because there are photosynthesizers capturing carbon with sunlight and producing oxygen so that we can metabolize the food that those photosynthesizers produce. So as we go into meditation, we're going to work with these ideas of Agaya and Ubuntu a little bit deeper and really settle into them. So I invite you now to get yourself into a comfortable position. Hopefully you're in a place where you're not going to be disturbed, where all your devices are going to stay quiet. So as you begin to just let your body settle, feel the weight of your body on your seat. Start to feel your feet relaxing, your legs relaxing. Let your hips relax. Move up your body. Let your belly relax. Let your back relax. Let your shoulders drop. Let your arms and hands relax. Let your neck relax. And as you let your face relax, just soften your gaze or close your eyes, whichever you're going to be more comfortable with. So take a moment now to really feel your connection to the earth below you, grounding you, stabilizing you, and feel your connection to the sky above you, lifting you up, filling you with light. As you feel the pull of the earth below you, as you feel the way you rise up as you breathe, recognize that our friends and allies, the trees, make this connection between soil and sky, between heaven and earth, even more strongly. And feel yourself, your reciprocity, your connection with the trees. Feel yourself as if a tree. Feel the strength that that gives you to lift up. Feel yourself breathing in this beautiful gift of air. So take a deep breath in and hold it for just a moment. And then release it very, very slowly. Inhale again slowly through your nose and really notice the feeling of air moving past your nostrils and down and into your lungs. And feel the way in your lungs there are branches, like the branches of a tree. Feel that air move into them. Let yourself take another slow, deep breath in and savor the feeling of this breath nourishing your relaxed body. Exhale gently, slowly, inviting any tension remaining in your body to leave with your breath. And now continue taking these deep, relaxing breaths as we welcome in a greater appreciation of Ubuntu and Gaia. Ubuntu expands our awareness of connection, of interbeing. So think about the beings you're familiar with, the plants and the people and other animals in the bioregion where you live. And as you bring one and another to mind, pause and thank them for the ways that they enrich your life. Remember that all your food was once alive and that that life nourishes you. This is interbeing at its deepest level. This is what we in Novasutras speak of when we say Ubuntu. How does it feel to know that something as simple and elegant as a leaf can capture the light from the sun and turn it into sugars, into sweetness and sustenance, and into the structures of life itself? Everywhere in the world, these interconnections and interdependencies exist. As you breathe in, allow yourself to feel these connections of Ubuntu. And as you breathe out, send your gratitude for them along those radiating interconnections. Take in love and exhale gratitude. Thank the trees and the plants, all the living green things of this earth, for providing us with the oxygen we need to breathe, and for taking the carbon that we exhale to build their own bodies. This feeling of gratitude that we have towards these other beings with whom we share this connection. This is just one facet of what we call a Gaia. A Gaia expresses the deep sense of wonder we feel when we catch the scent of pine in the air, when we see a bird fly gracefully overhead, when we hear the crashing waves of a stormy ocean, the hush of a deep snowfall, the hum of insects in the summer sun. When we feel the warmth of a friend's hand, the coolness of a breeze on our face. When we gaze up into a clear night sky filled with distant stars. A Gaia is the recognition of our profound connection to the sacred beauty of the universe. This sense of a Gaia can inspire feelings of humbleness, yet also feelings of expansive pride and great joy. So now as you inhale, invite this sacred joy of a Gaia into the center of your being. And as you release your breath, send with it your feelings of humble gratitude to spread out into the world. Inhale wonder and joy, and exhale gratefulness for interconnection. Inhale a Gaia, and exhale Ubuntu. Inhale a Gaia, and exhale Ubuntu. Now I invite you to reverse that. Inhaling Ubuntu, holding that feeling of inner connection, and then exhaling Agaya to spread joy and wonder out into the universe. Inhale Ubuntu. Exhale Agaya. Inhale Ubuntu. Exhale Agaya. Inhale Ubuntu. Exhale Agaya. Now I invite you to envision our whole earth. And as you see that beautiful blue planet hanging in the darkness of space, imagine Ubuntu and Agaya shining forth through you from your heart to envelop the whole world. Know that those of us on this call are creating a community with our energy joining together to spread all around our beautiful earth, radiating Ubuntu and Agaya out as a gift for peace, a gift for world unity, sharing that sense of Ubuntu and Agaya with all the beings of earth. As you start to settle in, feel the touch of your feet on the floor beneath you. Feel the way the earth supports the weight of your body. Once again, feel that air move in and out of you. And offer up gratitude to the trees and plants and all those living green things of this earth for this deep expression of loving reciprocity, of Ubuntu between all beings. And open yourself again to Agaya, the joy, wonder, and reverence for this profound beauty that we find in our amazing planet. And get in touch with your gratitude about being able to participate in this complex dance of co-creation that we call life on Earth. Start to let your body move. Come back into the space that you're in. Hear the nearby sounds around you. Feel the temperature of the air in the room where you are. And when you're ready, open your eyes and come back to join us. We in the Novasutras movement thank you for taking the time to be in this space of mindfulness, to learn about Agaya and Ubuntu, and to let them hopefully enrich your life in ways that you can share with other people, that you can help move Agaya and Ubuntu into the world. So it's now 7 o'clock, and I understand if you need to leave, but as I understand it, we have the room for a little bit longer. So I welcome if anyone wants to stay and talk about anything that came up for them, about what their experiences were like. I'm happy to stay here with you. And if you have any questions about the Novasutras movement, I'm happy to talk about that. You can also learn about us through our website and a lot of the usual social media channels. And we'll be doing a lot of events throughout the week that you can learn more about. Thank you all so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was so beautiful. That was really, that was really beautiful.
In this time when we've been so cut off from everything, it's nice to have that sense of connection. That was lovely.
Yeah, thank you very much. I wasn't here at the very beginning, but I think I understood Agaya from the context, but can you just maybe summarize your definition of Agaya that you said before I got here?
Yeah, I'm happy to, Dana. Thank you for asking that. So the idea is Agaya is the recognition of the complexity and beauty of the universe and its capacity for creating life, and the way that the Gaia theory in science talks about how life actually creates the conditions for ever more complex life to emerge. And we combine that with a recognition that there is this transcendent love that is being expressed through that process. So Agaya is actually the merger of agape, a word for transcendent, universal, divine love, and Gaia, this recognition of the creative, compassionate energy of the world.
Great.
Were there any other questions people had or things that came up for them that they want to talk about?
I saw my gardens and the trees around my yard all lit up. It's lovely.
Great, thank you, Valerie.
I had an experience when I was looking at the image of Mama Earth that you had on that extraordinary angle, and I closed my eyes, and when I opened it again, it felt like you had changed the image and it felt bigger to me. And I thought, oh. it was like, and also like Valerie was saying about, you know, how we've been in this time where we've been away from each other. it felt like even though so many of us have social distance and been removed from each other physically, I felt more connected when I opened my eyes and saw Mama Earth bigger. It was really beautiful. It was very moving. And I love the word Gaia. It sounds like that word always was. Because I love the word Gaia. And then having agape, that combination is just, of course. It's lovely. Well, thank you. That will be a new word in my vocabulary. Love that.
So glad to hear that. Oh. Valerie, when you said that about the trees in your garden and the light behind them, I'm reminded of Dana and I were on a call earlier today, and a lovely woman whose name I'm completely blanking on, but I think it started with an N. But she was talking about how she would go out into the woods and the trees would sparkle at her. And that sense of there's this like inner radiance that if you just are able to be open to it, you can recognize it and connect with it in a way that just it changes everything. I'm going to talk a little bit in a panel session tomorrow about this practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, forest immersion, which is really taking time out in nature to open your senses up and see what nature wants to say to you. So that's another practice that we really encourage because it's so healing.
Yeah, I find that too. I relate to the trees twinkling or sparkling, because sometimes I go for a walk in nature and I can sense when a tree would like to interact because they can't move and reach out to us. It's like we have to touch them and go up to them because they're just, they're not mobile or anything. And I think they really appreciate when we reach out to them. And then I notice sometimes when I interact with one, then they like all want. Like, oh, okay. But yeah, I can sense sort of that connection and inclination to interact from them. And when is your panel in this hologram of Unity Week?
Right. Okay. I have to do that. It's like I translated it all to Pacific time so I could remember it, and then I have to remember.
I'm in Pacific time.
So if you're in Pacific time, it's 1 o'clock. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I could just go back to that screen here because I had those on the. Yeah. So that'll be 1 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. It's in the environment, climate, and food room.
Oh my goodness.
And then some of my team might be doing, I don't know if we're going to do the open space. That's the earlier session tomorrow. We almost certainly are going to do the open space. That's the later session. And I think we just got settled on the theme is going to be actually on ways to recognize and process intergenerational trauma. Then Thursday, we're going to do the open space session with the question of listening for diversity. We're going to do a session in Becky's Radical Joy and Good Grief. I love the name of that room. That's so spot on. And that will be with a little water ritual to help process grief, and then some conversation around that. And I'll be doing another guided meditation on Friday, focusing on rainforests. And then I will be doing a panel on Friday talking about interpersonal skills for change agents, essentially.
Thank you. I think I'm going to go because there was something in the hologram that I remember happening now that I remember
I'm sure
what
there
it was.
is.
But
There's
I'm
too
going to
much
go check
happening.
it out. So thank you, and I'll see you again. Aloha.
Wonderful.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that experience, Michelle, and I'm so glad Valerie was here too. We were able to experience that together.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I'm
It's
so
later
glad.
here where I am, and it's a nice way to end my day.
It is. It's very relaxing and unifying. I hope I get to come or be in some other rooms with both of you. Future hologram gatherings. Oh,
Lovely. Okay,
Seriously.
Becky, thank you so much for
You're
opening the space and
welcome.
hosting. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Oh, it's my joy.